In this video I'll show how to make or show a simulated laser etching file on a stone. So first I'll just go ahead and make a shape here. And then I will import my picture. I'll grab the elderly couple picture here and click import. I like to click it off to the side just so that I've got it, but it's not interfering with anything else. So then I can decide what I want to do with it, whether I want to center it or put it inside something. So we'll do this a couple different ways. I'll go ahead and click on our ceramic portrait button here, just because we'll use that for what we're doing. I'm rotating it 90 degrees and hitting enter so that that rotates it for us. And I'll go ahead and resize this maybe to 7 inches by 5 inches. I just hit tab to get between each of those and hit enter to resize that. Okay, so I've got this file and I'm going to turn it into a laser etching. So I'm actually going to make a copy of it. You can hit Control C, Control V to copy and paste, or I usually like to just drag. And while I drag, I'm going to right click, which gives me a copy. And then I will let go inside this power clip frame and it will, it's supposed to make a copy. Let me undo that. Right click, make a copy first, then I'll drag and throw it in there. How does that sound? So it's inside that frame, and I can go ahead and click on this and say fill frame proportionally, and that way it fills it in nicely. That's not a laser etching though, because it's not black and white or grayscale. So I'll go ahead and center it on my stone. I'll just hit shift while I click on the stone, let go of all my buttons, and then hit C on the keyboard, and that will center it then to my stone. You can do this one of two ways if you want to. You can click on it and go up to bitmaps and say convert to bitmap. The resolution I usually etch at is 200 dpi, and the color mode would be grayscale 8-bit. I want to have it anti-aliased so that it's nice and smooth, and I want a transparent background so that I don't get a big white or black blob behind there. So I'll click OK, and that then switches to black and white. So the reason that we put it inside this frame was just to easily give it an oval effect. Another way we can do that, a little bit of a different effect, and I'll do that on this one. I'm going to come up and say bitmaps, convert to bitmap, and we'll do 200 again. Grayscale is fine. Click OK. And I can also come up to bitmaps and say auto adjust if I want to. That will adjust the contrast. I could do the same thing for this one, bitmaps auto adjust, and that will adjust that for us as well if it saw something that ought to be adjusted. So we're going to take this photo and come up to bitmaps, and we will say creative, and then there's a vignette here, or there's frames. There's some different things you can do. We'll just go ahead and do this one. Move it over to the side so we can see it. And you've got options for whether you want it to be an ellipse or a circle, rectangle, or a square. That gives you the overall shape. I'm probably going to go with an ellipse here. You can also change your offset for how much you want it to come in towards the center or out towards the edge. So how much you want it to do that, and then also how much you want it to fade, whether you want it to fade a lot or just a little bit. So you've got those options depending on how you want to do it. Whatever you or the customer wants, you can make those adjustments and click OK. Now I will go ahead and fill in with black granite, and I probably should have done that beforehand just so that I could see the preview a little bit better. But that gives you a couple different options there as to whether you would want to do a fade or an oval. You could also instead hit edit bitmap, and it will bring it into photo paint, and then you can make any changes there. So if you wanted to erase the background or add a fade just around them, there's those options as well, but that would be for a different video. So hopefully that helps.